Ever since IBM snapped up Red Hat back in 2019, folks in the Linux and open source world have been asking the same thing. How much freedom would Red Hat actually keep under IBM's wing? Well, we're starting to see the answers. IBM has announced that by 2026, Red Hat's back-office operations like HR, finance, legal, and accounting will be folded directly into IBM systems. Basically, all the behind-the-scenes corporate plumbing is getting streamlined. And that's efficient on paper, but it also stirs up the big question. What happens to Red Hat's unique, open-source-driven culture? IBM insists this is about cutting redundancy, not gutting Red Hat. The core stuff, like engineering, product development, sales, marketing, remains separate. So the teams building Red Hat Enterprise, RHEL, OpenShift, and other big projects aren't suddenly reporting to IBM managers. And make no mistake, Red Hat is still a huge part of IBM's hybrid cloud strategy. Red Hat's revenue growth has been one of the bright spots for IBM, so there's plenty of incentive to keep its technical and cultural edge intact. Then there's Fedora, the community-led Linux distribution that acts as the upstream testing for RHEL. Understandably, Fedora fans want to know, is Fedora safe from corporate meddling? So far, yes. Both IBM and Red Hat have gone out of their way to reassure the community that Fedora stays independent. No branding changes, no forced direction shifts, no IBM playbook creeping in. Fedora's governance, mission, and community-driven decision-making aren't on the chopping block. In short, Fedora still gets to be Fedora, experimental, community-led, and sometimes a little weird. IBM and Red Hat both keep hammering the point that open source is central to their strategy. IBM actually has its own long history of open source involvement, and Red Hat's credibility in that world is a big part of why the acquisition mattered in the first place. But there's still some skepticism out here. Moves like Red Hat's 2023 decision to limit public access to RHEL source code rattled the open source community, raising concerns about transparency. That didn't directly touch Fedora or upstream projects, but it was enough to make people wonder if corporate priorities could sometimes outweigh the open in open source. So here's where things stand as of September 2025. Back office. Red Hat is getting absorbed into IBM systems to save money and reduce overhead. Core engineering and products. Still independent, still Red Hat. Fedora. Safe, community-driven, and not subject to IBM's corporate policies. Open source contributions. Officially unchanged, though the community is keeping a cautious eye out. For now, the message is clear. It looks like IBM needs Red Hat's open source credibility too much to risk smothering it. Fedora remains the playground for new ideas. Red Hat keeps building Linux and cloud tech, and IBM gets the efficiency gains it wants behind the curtains. The real test will be whether IBM can keep squeezing out corporate synergies without squeezing out what makes Red Hat, and by extension Fedora, special. So that's another video in the can. If you found this informative or interesting, please consider liking and subscribing down below. And remember, be excellent to each other.